Well, welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody's faces, and hope you're doing really well. And we're going to have a short webinar here to talk about going back to group exercise and what it looks like that we see right now in terms of the Aquatic Center and SwimRVA for all of our wellness clients. So hope that everybody is doing well and is safe and staying physically active. That's super important for all of us. I know that while I used to swim a little bit, I only run now and lift chlorine tubs to put in outdoor swimming pools, it seems like. We're excited to get going. So let's talk a little bit about where we're at. So as many of you are aware, the state of Virginia is in phase 1 of its reopening. And in phase 1 of reopening, indoor aquatic centers are still ordered to be closed. So we still don't have water in our 3 pools at the aquatic center. That will change this week. Brad's fixing some final things, and then we'll probably start filling on Wednesday, at least the competition pool and the therapy pool. We live by the governor of Virginia's press conferences, and every time that he speaks, we learn a little bit more about what the future holds for the reopening of the indoor aquatic center at SwimRVA. We expect the governor to speak Tuesday and Thursday this week at 2 o'clock, and we're anxiously awaiting phase 2 of reopening, and certainly we're all taking a real close look at the numbers and watching how the virus is moving through our fair city. So when phase 2 does happen, we do expect the indoor aquatic centers will be allowed to operate in some way, shape, or form. What that is, we have no idea. It could be we're limited to 10 people. It could be that we're limited to 50 people. It could be maybe that we're still closed. It's unclear of what phase 2 will look like for operating the aquatic center we all know and love. Phase 3, which might happen in August or even later, that would be a full reopening of everything. But we certainly aren't anywhere where we can predict that. So that's where we are. Now, one of the things that is allowable in phase 1 is group exercise outdoors in groups of 10 or less. And so inevitably, you may have seen a lot of the health clubs around town are starting to do that, being real creative of having outdoor activity, 10 people or less, and participants need to stay away from each other by 10 feet. And that's the rule. So we're going to start to do that as well. On Wednesday, start to have outdoor group activity with 10 people being the limit. And we hope that everybody will take a look at the schedule, which is where it always has been at swimrichmond.org at the scheduling wellness schedule page. And you'll see on there only outdoor land-based activity. And today in the webinar, I'm going to talk a little bit about what our reopening policies and procedures are. And then Scott is going to talk about how you would register for one of those classes. Because we are limited to 10 people per class, it will require us to have you register for that class to reserve a spot. And that will be new, and that'll be something we're all going to work together on because we're all learning it at the same time. After that, Natalie Rayner is with us, and I know that some of you have met Natalie or talked to Natalie, and she is our new head wellness coach. She's been with us for quite a while. Natalie leads all of our efforts in Church Hill at the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. And when we get to Natalie, she'll tell us a little bit about her background and what she's done in the fitness industry. And it's just fantastic. And of course, what she's doing at Church Hill is amazing work with the neighborhood and with many of the organizations that we partner with. So what I want to do right now is talk about the reopening guide, SwimRVA reopening guide policies and procedures. And how are we going to keep you safe? How are we going to keep us safe? One of the things that is true is that safety, as it relates to COVID-19, right, is neutral. We've got to keep everybody safe, and we are the threat to each other. And so we've got to be very intentional about how we do that. Because at the end of the day, what we also know to be true is that getting back into activity and getting back into our group exercise classes is really important for all of us. So SwimRVA's reopening guide, if you have not seen it yet already, and I'm going to share my screen real quick, is right here on the front page of the website. So if you go to swimrichmond.org, most of you have been there. Right on the front page, right here, is SwimRVA updates in this box, and it's always there. And right here, you can click on that, and it'll bring up the reopening guide for SwimRVA. And as you can see, the reopening guide is robust. It's 57 pages long. And we hope that you'll take some time to sift through that. There's a lot of programmatic stuff in there that wouldn't necessarily pertain to people on the call. Might be because it's a swim team or water polo or whatnot. But we hope that you'll take a look at that. And the reason why it's so important that everybody takes a look and reads through the guide is that we've never been through a pandemic before at SwimRVA. And I don't think any of us have. And it's really important that you know that we don't know what we don't know. And what we need is, we need your feedback and we need your thoughts. We think that we've got something here to work from. And where we're heading to is gonna require all of us to work together to make sure that the Aquatic Center is safe and for everybody in it, both staff and participants. One of the things that we know is that our facility is unique. It's unique in the sense that we have a lot of different people that use our facility on a day-to-day basis. We know that all of our facilities have a very unique clientele that move through those. When we talk about the Aquatic Center itself, the big one, the Collegiate School Aquatic Center, we have everyone from 6 months of age all the way to 106 of age. And so how do we keep people safe? So a lot of what's in the reopening guide is about controlling flow and access to the building. And the epidemiologists tell us it's about what they call cohorting our spaces, or making sure that people move through the facility and we don't have to interact with a lot of different groups, right? Everybody has their space, everybody knows where to go, and we can limit the amount of contact that groups have with each other. So one of the things that's in the reopening guide is that everybody will have their own front door to the facility. They, let me just, sorry for making you dizzy here real quick. We get to the map, which is in the middle probably, right here. And I know that that's twisted sideways for you. But if you look at the reopening guide, you'll see the map of how the facility will work. And coming in the front doors of the building, those are limited specifically for you, our wellness clients, new clients who aren't yet participants of any program at SwimRVA, and the hammerheads, which are our adult master swimmers. That's the front doors. Nobody else is going to be coming through the front doors. On the side of the building, in the instructional pool, on the north doors, scoreboard in our facility is north, but on the far side, that'll be the in and out entrance for our swim school. On the south side of the instructional pool, and that's the black arrow, that's going to be the door and the entry point for all of our therapy clients. And that's our clients for select physical therapy. So if you come to use the therapy pool as part of the usage of the Aquatic Center, you'll still use the front door as a SwimRVA member. If you're coming for specific therapy with the therapist, it's like physical therapy, you'll come through the instructional pool. The other thing that we did is that we took a look, and our facility is big enough, we have 3 sets of restrooms, and we're able to assign our restrooms to different groups. So everyone on this call, all of our wellness and facility members will use and only use the lobby restrooms. When we use the facility in phase 1 and phase 2, We want everyone to come, if they're going to use the water, we want everyone to come in their bathing suit and leave in their bathing suit. Now, I say that, and as we open on Wednesday, there will not be water classes, right? So we're still in phase 1. There's only going to be land-based classes. When you come for your land-based class, first thing you'll need to do is make sure that you sign up for that class. Second thing, when you come, again, you'll come through our front door, and when you go to the desk, you'll meet Sarah and the people that you know and love, and you're going to go through a health screen. I'm going to stop the share on this and switch to my PowerPoint. And I have pulled out a couple of things that I want to talk to about the reopening guide and procedure. And the first thing is that everybody at SwimRVA, whether you're a class participant or a staff member, we're all going to work through and operate under the same reopening guide and instruction. There won't be any behavior or any staff member or any department who can change the reopening guide or instruction unless it comes through me. So there's one COVID-19 point person at SwimRVA, and that's me, the executive director. Now, again, I don't know everything, and neither does the leadership team who helped put this together. We need everybody's feedback. So please keep if you don't already, and many of you do, keep my cell phone and my email address on speed dial and ready to go. Let me know when you see something so that we can address it. The guide updates. Anytime there's great ideas or feedback that we need to put into the guide so that it can make ourselves stronger and safer at SwimRVA, it'll update. Currently, we're operating in version number 2. There's a number of things that need to be updated before Wednesday. And when we do update the guide and move to version 3 or version 4, any updates will get emailed to you and will be in your email box. And those updates will come and they'll just be bulleted format. Hey, now when you come to the Aquatic Center, X, Y, or Z needs to happen. And we're only going to send you the updates as it pertains to things that will affect you, okay? So pay attention to your email box. Number 1, all the staff members and participants go through the same screening process. There's nobody who will enter the Aquatic Center or be involved in any of our classes, whether outdoors or indoors, that doesn't go through the screening process. All staff members get screened, and they have their own screening room and their own entry to the facility before they report to work. The only difference between the screening process between staff members and for participants is that the staff will have a temperature check as part of their screening process. Participants will not have a temperature check. Participants will need to answer some screening questions in regards to their health and whether or not they've had contact with people with COVID-19. Masks. So your masks are required now to come to the Aquatic Center. So we hope that everybody has their favorite mask. We hope your mask represents you. We hope that it is important. And we hope that we have a fashion show every day at the Aquatic Center. Mine is SwimRVA branded. All the staff at SwimRVA will wear a mask that looks just like this. It'll be easy to tell who's a SwimRVA staff member. There's a second mask that they have, but it's also blue and says SwimRVA. But everybody will be required to wear a mask when they come to the venue. Now, if you're coming for a group exercise class, once that class starts and everybody is properly social distanced from each other, and in our outdoor classes in phase 1, that will be 10 feet from each other, you may remove your mask to exercise. Masks will not be worn, don't have to be worn while you're exercising, as long as everybody is 10 feet apart from each other in that outdoor class, okay? But once class ends, the masks need to go back on in order to move about the Aquatic Center, okay, or to move about amongst each other. At all times right now, it is important, and our instructors and our front desk staff and our SwimRVA duty officers, which are going to be around to make sure everybody's following the rules, they're all going to be strictly enforcing 6 feet. So we're all friends. We all love each other. But when we come to the Aquatic Center right now, we are a threat to each other, and we don't know it. and we don't want to be, but we need to keep 6 feet from each other. So when we come to the aquatic center, it's really hard. You might see that person that you haven't seen in a while, and your instinct is to give them a hug. You want to do it. You want to give them a high five. But unfortunately, we can't do that right now. Not inside the aquatic center, not during SwimRVA programming. It's important that we keep 6 feet of distance from each other at all times, okay? Whether it's a class or we're post-class or pre-class, right? This isn't necessarily as it relates to our wellness clients. We use the same presentation for all of our programming, but do know that the health screening that does happen for any of our participants that are under the age of 18, that is, it is required that their parent or guardian be there to answer the questions for them. So we don't have 12-year-olds, right, that are coming and telling us whether or not they're sick. Their parent or guardian has to answer that in order for them to get to the aquatic center. That's really important that you know that. Only participants will be allowed in the venue or anywhere near our classes, certainly in the outdoor space. And that's a big deal. So it's all about reducing density. So you may have been to classes before where you see a lot of different people in the aquatic center that don't necessarily, they might be the person that drove the person to the practice or the class. But right now, only the participants will be allowed inside the venue, okay? So we won't have any extra people. Only the people inside the venue who know where they're supposed to be going, have a class to report to, have lap swimming that they're going to do. That's who will be allowed in, and everybody else will need to wait in their cars. A big thing, and this will be coming to you shortly, and Scott will talk about it. There are new waiver forms that will be required to enter the facility. So when you all started your membership once upon a time, you signed a waiver to SwimRVA saying that you understood the risks of participating in activity. This waiver, it says exactly that with a little bit more. There's an extra paragraph that speaks to COVID-19 and the virus is out there. And SwimRVA is doing everything in its power to make sure that you're safe when you come to the aquatic center, but we cannot guarantee it. When we leave our homes, all of us, right, we're taking on a certain amount of risk as it relates to COVID-19. And the waiver just makes sure that we all recognize that. And then lastly, the thing that I want to highlight the most is that over the last 3 months, right, we shut down all of our operations at SwimRVA on March 16th. And over the last 3 months, you guys have been incredible supporters of SwimRVA. We would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for you. It's our supporters that have helped us financially keep people on staff so that we could create a reopening guide and instruction and start preparing for how we do that, being able to respond to the governor and the state of Virginia and the virus as it's moving around and about our community. We could not do that without you guys. And so I can't thank you enough. And I know the staff is overflowing with gratitude for everything that you guys do for us. Dues and billing. So the way we're going to handle that is nobody's dues, nobody's billing will be restarted until you come to that first activity, right? When you sign up for your first class and you come to the aquatic center for that first experience, that's when we'll restart. And that's when we'll know that you want to restart. Now, of course, if you come and things are not exactly the way that you feel safer for whatever reason, as always, cancel at any time. SwimRVA is very, very flexible, and we hope that that's something that you've enjoyed, not just through COVID-19, and that's been helpful, but you've enjoyed it in the past as well. That's all I've got, and I'm going to turn it over to Scott right now, and he's going to talk a little bit about, again, right now we're in phase one of the state of Virginia's reopening, and in phase one, the only things that we're allowed to do is outdoor activity with 10 people or less. So there is no swimming and there's nothing happening inside the aquatic center right now in phase one. We do expect to move to phase two. That'll include classes and water classes inside the aquatic center, but we won't know that until the governor releases that the state has moved to phase two. And then once he does that, we'll also understand what we should be doing in order to keep people safe in terms of volume. So Scott, talk to us a little bit about what happens on Wednesday. If I want to come to a group land class, how do I do it?
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. Great stuff, and hello, everybody. For those of y'all that don't know me, Scott Bennett. I do communications. I send out all the emails for y'all, and we post a bunch of stuff on social media. So I hope y'all enjoy those pictures and videos, and we're hoping to get a lot more here soon. So starting Wednesday, we are going to be doing those outdoor classes. Again, as Adam said, they are limited to 10, which means we do have to have a sign-up system. Our sign-up system is going to be through a website that is called Club Automation. Now, this website is our new registrations and membership software. So all of your membership fees, your accounts, group activities, our classes, everything will be on this account, and you'll be able to search for and register for. So I'm going to go through that process to help y'all access the account, and then show you how to log in and show you how to register for one of those group activities. And it's pretty simple, and we'll go through this real quick. So let me share my screen. All right, so there's a couple ways we can y'all can do this. As soon as this is over, I'm going to send out a follow-up email that has the direct link to Club Automation to where you can access your account. However, if you don't get that email, you can also find it on our website. As Adam talked about, this is our homepage, and that's where you can find the reopening guide. And if those y'all who have been on our website at swimrichmond.org, if you hover over the programs and you go to the health and wellness and you click that, we'll get to the wellness page. This has a list of all your details on memberships, your class schedules, the virtual wellness center. If y'all have been following that while the time we were off, has some awesome videos and classes. I hope y'all have been able to utilize that. And then you can click on schedule and pricing. It's down here on the wellness page, schedule and pricing. And from here, you will see Club Automation. This says that we'll be using this system. And this is the link that you're going to want to go to. It is swimrichmond.clubautomation.com. Again, you can go down here. You can see these. I'm going to go through both these processes very quickly. You can see this is going to be our classes for Monday. Now, classes aren't starting till Wednesday, so this will be for Monday next week. You can see we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each of these buttons takes you to the same site for Club Automation. I'm going to go through this first one right here. This is the main swimrichmond.org or swimrichmond.clubautomation.com site. This is the page that you will see. This is the page that you will see. Everybody will go here to access my account. You all should have an account already in the system. All you need to do is access it. So you'll click access my account, and you'll want to find my account. So right here, you'll just type in your name. My first name's Christopher, sorry. So I will type in my email address. This is the email address that you had on file with us before in our old system. .com. This is just a dummy email. This is not my email. If y'all need to contact me, scott.bennett@swimrichmond.org. Again, this will be in an email and a follow-up. So I will search for that. We found your account. It'll say this: an email has been sent to your Yahoo account. So, okay, go to my Yahoo account. Hopefully it pops up. And there it is, online access. Again, you just go to your email. This is pretty simple. Go to your email, and it'll come here. Please follow this link. Click on this main link. You'll type in the rest of your information. There is you have to update your password. I'm sorry, you have to update your password. any password that you'd like. And every time you do this, you do have to re-update your password. Click this. This is not going to be the waiver. This is a personal risk and injury waiver that has to be signed as you sign up and access for the account. However, there will be a separate link in the email that has a separate system simply for waivers. It is very easy and simple. You open up that link, you will click the boxes. That'll send us a reply and we'll add it to your account on Club Automation. However, that waiver system is not going to be a Club Automation waiver. If you have issues with that, problems with that, we can do it on your first day of practice, no problems. You just sign up, we'll come in, we'll get the waiver signed in-house, and then you can go start your class. So you save the account, and it'll bring you, if this will work, it'll bring you right here. So this is the user end of the site. You can add images, you can update your payment account if you need to. And then right here on the left-hand side where you see these buttons is where you're gonna wanna go to register for group activities. You will see where it says register for classes. This is not the button that you want, and that can be confusing. What you want is group activities. That's how it's set up in the system. So group activities is the one you wanna click. So you click group activities. And right here, this is where you can see all the activities, group activities that we have outdoors starting Wednesday. Now, if you wanted to, you could search classes for only Tuesday. You could search for only Wednesday, search for classes. It brings up Tuesdays and Wednesdays only. Let's say I just want to see Wednesday. I make sure Wednesday's checked, search for classes. Boom, I got all my Wednesday classes. If you want to go in there, you like the 645 boot camp in the grass, click on that. Or you can click learn more here. It takes you to the same thing. Right here is important. This shows you the date for that class. So if we're looking at this Wednesday, it's going to be June 3rd. If we're looking at next Wednesday, it's going to be June 10th. They're the same time. It's the same exact class, but we need to make sure that we're signing up specifically for that class for that date and the time that you want. And you'll just click sign up. And then once you get here, it's important you must click your name to get that green checkbox, and then you will click register. Your registration is complete. You're all set. That's all you have to do. Okay. I can go back and I can look at group activities again. Not register for classes, but group activities. Come in here and I can go back to another class and I can register. Again, if I wanted to just look at boot camp on Wednesdays at 6:45, learn more, it's the same button, takes you to the same place. You go here, boom, Wednesday, June 3rd, Wednesday, June 10th. These are all those Wednesday classes. I've already registered for those. The other way to do this is I can get to if I go back to swimrichmond.org, bear with me here just a minute. And I go to health and wellness. I go down to schedule pricing. And I get to my schedule and pricing. You can see this might be an easier way to search for what class you're looking for. Here's my Mondays. I know I want to be at the 8 a.m. class. Okay, register for Monday classes here. Let's say classes start Wednesday. Again, if you're registering for Monday classes, the first Monday class is not going to be until Monday the 8th. But let's say I want to register for Wednesday. I want to get the first class 8 a.m. grass outside with Lawrence. Register for Wednesday classes here. It will take you, if you've already logged in, it'll take you right here. Here's all your Wednesday classes again that you can register for. If you had not logged in for there, it would just take you through the same exact process. Find my account, access my account, click the link in the email. It'll log you in, change your password, and you're all set. I will be sending out, again, as I said, I'll be sending out a follow-up email that has instructions on how to do this. It'll have a recording of this video, if that helps. It'll have a picture diagram on everything that we've talked about, on how to click through and how to follow the process. So if y'all have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. Again, scott.bennett@swimrichmond.org, or you can call me on my cell phone. It is 540-577-8083. That's 540-577-8083. So important things, you need to access Club Automation. You can do that through the website, or it'll be a link on an email. I'll send in a follow-up. Make sure you're registering for the right specific day and time that you want to attend class, and complete the process until it says you have registered. Make sure that you're going to group activities and not register for classes. Group activities is where you want to go. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And the last thing is the waiver that will come separately in an email. It is a couple clicks, and then it automatically sends us an email that you have completed that waiver. That must be signed before you come to class. If it has not, we can do that in-house at the site. So if anybody has any questions while Natalie, about that registration process, while Natalie is going over a few things about class, please type it in the chat, and happy to get to those at the end of this session. And that's all I had. So thank y'all so much for listening to this. And Natalie, if you want to take it away and talk about some of the classes. Let me unmute you first. There you go.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all, even through the video stream. My name is Natalie. I have stepped in to take care of all of our wellness needs for the time being, and I'm very excited to be involved in our wellness programming. You will actually see me on the group fitness schedule. I'm teaching yoga classes a couple times during the week, so you can find me on the grass on our group fitness schedule right now. So if you take a look at the schedule for our land classes for the next few weeks, you'll see that we tried to keep the classes as close to the previous schedule as possible. So we selected the classes that we could teach without any shared equipment and basically moved them outside. So everything you see on the schedule, with the exception of one new class, you will recognize, and you'll recognize for the most part your same instructors, which is great. And then the classes that we in the past used to use shared equipment, we're still working on figuring out how we'll be able to offer those in the future. But for now, when you come to take a group fitness class, expect to bring your own equipment. So bring your own yoga mat. If you want to bring water bottles with water inside them as little hand weights, maybe, you know, an Nalgene bottle might weigh maybe 5 pounds or 4 or 5 pounds. So that's something to think about, that you can always bring your own resistance. If you have bands, I think we might not be ready for those at first, but I would definitely talk to your instructors for your classes and see if there's, you know, some brainstorming that you can do together on how we can start to incorporate our own equipment more into the classes that we offer. The one new class that you'll see on the schedule is named Fit Walk, or it's the walking group, and we're offering that class several times a week. And basically the idea is that it will be walking with some exercise intervals mixed in. Most of your instructors have kind of come up with some creative ways on how they are personally going to manifest that class. So it may look a little bit different with each teacher, which is probably a positive thing, get a little variety in there, but that's what the Fit Walk will be. So for the most part, it should be all classes and instructors that you recognize. And as we move towards the next phases in the reopening plan, in the future, our water classes will be basically identical to the old schedule. So even though some things are changing, we've tried our best to keep things as consistent as we could with the old schedule and the old plan. And I see some questions popping up in the chat. So let's see, there are only 10 spaces per class. What happens if someone registers and doesn't show up? So we do have a wait list capability on Club Automation. So as you register for classes, if a class fills up, as long as the wait list is working, we can track that. And so we can see who's still waiting. And that way we'll know who's next in line. So if someone does cancel registration, we'll be able to let you know that there's space available.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So one thing I should have pointed out, we would ask that if you are signing up for classes, that you only, if you can, sign up for the classes that you know you're going to be able to attend. What we are hoping not to see is that, you know, we sign up for every class just because you don't want to lose a spot and then show up to a couple a week. So yeah, if you can, try to keep it to only the classes you are able to make. And then only those who are signed up and show up will be allowed to be in the class. So if we have 12 people signed up, show up to the class, we will have to go by the list of those 10 that have signed up. If there is a space and there's nobody on that waiting list, we can let you in, but nobody will be allowed to come in and just show up to the class. We will need to make sure you're registered, at least on the waiting list, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's a good question. And then if you do need to cancel your registration, you can do that cancellation on Club Automation as well. You can unregister yourself, change your status out of the class, I believe. Am I right about that, Scott?
Yes, I believe so. I saw that question and I need to triple check, and that'll be in the email. But you should be able to cancel if you go to that class and unregister for that class. I will double check and get back to y'all. But great question. And if you do need to, if you have not gotten that communication before you need to cancel a class, just email me, call me, text me, anything like that, and I can get you taken care of.
Great. I see another question here. Are chairs going to be available for the chair classes? Do we need to bring a chair? And the answer to that is you do not need to bring your own chair. We are going to be using some plastic chairs that we have in the facility that are very easy for us to sanitize in between classes. And they'll be out in the sun, so that's, you know, ultraviolet is another way that kind of destroys the virus on surfaces anyway, so we'll be double sanitize those chairs in between each of the chair classes. Great. I don't have anything else to add. If anyone has any other questions, I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah, well, one of the questions was, or one thing we should have mentioned was, if you are having issues registering online, we have somebody staffed at the front desk. You can call in 804-271-8271. Call in, we'll get you registered. If you're having issues, we'd like for y'all to try to get online just to get more understanding of the website, seeing the updated schedules that Sarah updates each week. Seeing the virtual training centers. Love for y'all to hop on and do that. But if you're having issues with Club Automation, especially to start, call us. 804-271-8271. We'll get you registered, no problem. And I don't have anything else as well. Thank y'all so much again for coming. We are super excited to see everybody starting Wednesday. I will send out an email, but head on to the website. Go ahead and click on that Club Automation, get your access. Let's get registered for classes, and let's get rocking again. We're super excited to get out there. So thank y'all. If y'all got any questions, email me, call me. I'm here for you. That's my sole purpose. So y'all just let me know what I can do to help y'all. Other than that, we'll see everybody this week. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
See y'all.